Welcome back. We've been talking all about a job fair in October at the National Technical Institute for the Deaf that caters to deaf and hard of hearing students. With me today, John Macco, Chelsea Bruja, and Carolyn Kropp, our interpreter for this segment. John, when we last left, we talked about the fact that there are only three or I should say only 3 local companies at this fair. You want to get more local businesses to attend this fair. We talked a little bit about maybe why there is some reticence on the part of businesses to hire deaf and hard of hearing students for co-ops or to hire them full-time. Rochester is home to the largest population of per capita of deaf students or deaf people in the country, but still, you were saying a lot of times people don't interact with deaf people. There's still that wall, that barrier, right?
That's correct. Based on my experience traveling over the country, a lot of companies like the idea of working with deaf and hard of hearing, but they're not comfortable working with deaf and hard of hearing students. So how do we make them feel comfortable? We always invite companies to come to visit us so we can give it a tour, meet with the students, especially show what project they're working on, because the deaf and hard of hearing students, they have the technical skill to do the job. So we always show them the project they're working on. They do like a dog and pony show. And also, companies, and also we give a workshop called Working Together, Deaf and Hearing People. The workshop is designed to give you a taste what it's like to have a hearing loss. We don't teach you ASL, American Sign Language, no. We focus in on what it's like to speech read. We show you a video. Many hearing people think that deaf people are a great speech reader. I say, you be the judge by showing the video. Like, for example, if you don't see, get yourself a pair of glasses. They think the concept is the same. If you can't hear, get yourself a hearing aid or a cochlear implant. It's not the same thing because we can hear many things, but we can't understand everything. For example, if all 4 of us, we were to fly to Italy.
Okay.
And if we go to Italy, and if you don't know the language, you can hear them talking in Italian, right? Mm-hmm. But can you understand?
No.
No. That's how many of the deaf and hard of hearing students here at RIT, NTID, we can, especially if they wear hearing aid, they can hear, but they don't always understand everything. Huh. So that's how we make the company feel comfortable with the idea of working with deaf and hard of hearing. So after they attend the workshop, they're like, this is much easier than I thought it would be. And that's when we start the relationship.
Wow, that is fascinating. So, and we talked about this a little earlier too. Technology has changed the way that we communicate. Chelsea, when you were at Kodak as a co-op, as a student, how did you communicate with your employers or your your fellow employees on a daily basis?
Well, most of it right through the internal messenger that they have, their email, and sometimes they would text me if they needed me immediately, little things like that.
And that's what we do anyway. People who are hearing do that. I mean,
exactly.
I barely talk to anyone I work with. I just email them or text them. But all kidding aside, it is possible to have a hard of hearing person in most workplaces, isn't it? I mean, it's a reality. You don't have a learning disability. You just can't hear well or at all, right? I mean, you want people to know that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, you're right. I remember I was having a meeting with a company, and I asked this gentleman in an engineering company, what was it like to work there 15 years ago? He said, that was easy. He explained that, do you hear anything right now? And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't hear anything. He said, well, 15 years ago, the phone used to ring all the time. People used to talk on the phone all the time. 15 years later now, you can't hear. Nobody's using the phone anymore. They're using email, using IM. You're right, the technology have changed in so many ways. It helps for the deaf and hard of hearing to be part of the environment.
And it helps to keep these students here. You're from Colorado, Chelsea. Mm-hmm. We'd love for you to stay in Rochester. So that's why this job fair is so important, because you want to keep these students in this community instead of leaving to other places. Rochester's a great place to live and work if you can find a job. I mean, we're a pretty deaf-friendly city, aren't we?
Oh yeah, I would say so. I mean, like the one reason I decided to stay here for my co-op, there's the awareness level of deaf people in the community is so high. It made me, as a potential employer, feel comfortable knowing that any company that I worked with here in the area, they would at least be willing to learn the different communication styles, the different communication methods that I needed in order to communicate and understand what they're saying. And that is the hardest and the first step that's necessary to get to that next step. And that idea, that fact, helped me so much.
That's wonderful to hear. Well, again, this job fair is October 12th.
Right.
It's at RIT. And the information, and it starts at 1:30, right? It goes
That's
until
correct.
5. The information is at www.rit.edu. You see the web address there if you would want more information on this job fair. And if you're a local business interested in attending, well, I'm sure the NTID would love to hear from you. You can also find contact information right there. Thank you so much, John, Chelsea. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Carolyn Kropp, our interpreter for this segment. We will be right back after this. Actress Patty Duke is coming to Rochester. We'll tell you all about why she is here and how she's helping the East House.